A very good evening, and once again, welcome to our edition of the Capital Straight Talk. I'm here up until 7:30. This is Capital FM, and I'm your host, Timothy Kadeda. As you might have earlier on heard, we'll be speaking to one of the senior officials for the former Governing Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, that's Leonard Chimbanga, who is also a councillor for Soche East Ward, and he'll be joining me live from Blantyre. Otherwise, let's be together as I'll be speaking to Leonard Chimbanga. Welcome to our edition of the Capital Straight Talk this evening.
Thank you, Timothy.
Yeah, I'm talking to you against the background of the recent developments happening within your party, that's the DPP, and this one is specifically to do with the pronouncement that was made by your president, that's APM, who said he is ready to stand come 2025. How democratic was that statement by your president, APM?
First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to the program. Regarding the issue that you're raising, I need to clear things first. I am not speaking. I wouldn't want to say I'm speaking on behalf of the party, because the party has a spokesperson. But as a senior member of the party, I have also opinions. I've got interest, and there are things that I support. So forgive me if certain things that can be said may not really be the position of the party, but otherwise I am very much open to responding. To answer your question, the issue whether the president's statement at Chonde in Cholo at Mlakwa Romwe was democratic. Of course, it is absolutely, it's actually, like any Malawian, he has a democratic right. He can speak his mind as any other Malawian. He can also contest for any office as is entitled. He has a right to do so. So there was really no problem. He didn't break any laws of the Republic, but also of the party of the DPP.
The reason I've asked you this question is that is coming against the background that your president, APM, has been consistently saying, I'm yet to make a decision, up until that Sunday when he came out in the open and say, I'll stand again. Is this now official that he has made up his mind that he's going to stand again?
No, if you listen to the statement he made at the podium, he never said he's going to stand. He said when he comes back, when he bounces back as president. So that could mean anything. So I think on issue of consultation, yes, he could be consulting. He has been consulting. But like any other Malawian who has looked at his record that he delivered for Malawians for such a long time, we're all happy when he said that he may consider coming back, because the country has failed. Timothy, you can see the economy is in tatters. When Professor Munthalika left government in 2020, he left with a very beautiful economy. The economy was in shape. You remember the interest rate was at 13%. Now it has been destroyed. The Tonse government, MCP government, and Chakwera have raised it to 30%. So that should just tell you that it's actually in good interest. Any well-meaning Malawian must want Professor Munthalika to come back to power to rescue this country, which now has lost direction.
That's why I'm asking you. By saying if when I bounce back, you are saying that you are trying to sound political here. You are saying that he hasn't officially pronounced himself, saying that he's going to stand. But now, when he says when I bounce back, it means he's ready to contest, isn't it?
What you must remember, one has to go through the official process of actually collecting nomination forms and submitting. That's when it becomes official. At this stage, for me, I'm looking at it to say he's expressing an interest to say, look, looking at the country the way it is, because I think he's also feeling sad, for Malawians. So he would want to also help. Because you remember, His Excellency Professor Munthalika has offered Chakwera several times that, let me send you boys who can help you to fix the economy. President Chakwera has never accepted. So you can tell that His Excellency Professor Munthalika would want to help, but Chakwera, since he's not interested.
No, okay. But now, on that issue, we'll go to that issue later on. Much as you're saying that President Chakwera has never shown any interest to actually get any kind of that advice from your president at APM, but we understand that he once visited your president, APM. We'll talk about that later on. But now, on this one, by APM coming out in the open and say, if I bounce back, people are saying that has actually caused a lot of tension within your party, because there are several aspirants. There are several aspirants who are also vying the same position.
No, people can aspire. I can aspire, but you know what? Am I ready? Am I fit? Am I qualified? So I don't think there's any tensions. Those who want to contest at the convention, want to challenge, DPP is a very democratic party. People can always come and compete. But I think for also some of us who are interested, who would want to see His Excellency Professor Munthalika bounce back, we also have the right, and we want a candidate who can actually win. So when we look at His Excellency Professor Munthalika, he's a bankable candidate, and it is a sure win. We are not going to waste time. We don't even have to market him. Everyone in the country knows him. For other candidates, with all due respect, I think we've got capable candidates who can deliver. Not to mean that I would want to look down on anyone, but as it stands now, I think His Excellency Professor Munthalika would be the right candidate to win the elections, because Timothy, we can't wait for 5 years. If we lose now, we have to wait for another 5 years to try.
So are you trying to mean that you are blocking the rest of other aspirants? Because in your party, you have already admitted here there are still some other capable personalities in the likes of Brighton Saka. Talk about Dariso Kabambe. Talk about Mwanamveka. These are some of the candidates who are also vying the position of the president. Then with that pronouncement, it's like you are blocking the rest of these other candidates not to contest by that statement by APM.
Not at all. We have delegates who form the convention. They have got the right to pick a candidate. And you remember last time, there were people, most of the regions had endorsed His Excellency Professor Munthalika, but also members of the NGC endorsed His Excellency Professor Munthalika. So these people have got rights also. If someone is aspiring, who want to contest for the position of the presidency, they are open. They can always come to the convention. But I think if you look at the the situation now on the ground, a lot of people would want to have His Excellency Professor Munthalika to run again. So why can't we, let him, come and help us out, come and bail the country out? Because right now, Chakwera has misled us. He lied to the country that things are going to be okay, and if he failed, he was going to resign after
But now,
2 years.
Some other people are accusing you, the likes of you, Mr. Chimbanga, that you are the people who are misleading your former president, that's IPM. You are the people who are trying to portray as if everything is so rosy in as far as APM is concerned, that that's why he has openly come out and say, I'm going to contest. People are pointing a finger at you, are saying you are the ones who are misleading the former president. Because people are saying this was the right time for him to be resting, maybe supporting the party behind the scenes.
When you say resting, what do you mean? Maybe you need to clarify.
Because some other quarters are saying he has actually ruled this country for the last for 6 years, and it's high time for him to rest and provide that kind of leadership behind the scenes to the rest of other members of the party, even the leadership of the party. It's high time for him to pave way for the new blood.
No. First of all, you don't send a boy to do a man's job. The way the country is at this stage, we need someone who is experienced, someone who has been tested, who has tried. Someone who has a record. We can't keep doing the try and errors. You've seen what it has done to us as a country. we're a mess. The country is a mess. It's a breakdown. Forex, you remember that we used to have 6 months cover. We had almost $1 billion. Now we don't even have Forex that can cover us for 3 days. We have 24 hours. So we need someone who can be able to deliver. We need someone who can bring the interest rates down. We need someone who can bring maize prices down. You remember we used to buy maize.
Are you trying to mean that? Are you trying to mean that the likes of Bright Saga, they cannot do the same? Are you trying to mean that the likes of Sogamambe, they cannot do the same?
I'm sure they can, but at this stage, you're looking at uncharted territory. We need someone who has done it before. You know, I think His Excellency Professor Peter Munthalika will come in just to stabilize things, and someone else can take over eventually. But at this stage, I think the country, we must love our country. We need someone who has done it, who has already a record, who has a proven track record. You know, Timothy, you remember we used to buy maize at 8,000 kwacha. Now a bag of maize is costing 50,000 kwacha. It was actually His Excellency Professor Peter Munthalika who delivered. Why can't we give him a chance? And besides, we have a president right now. Chakwera doesn't live in Malawi. We have a president who is governing Malawi.
Mr. Chimbanga, let's just focus on your party. My apologies, but let's focus on, because the reason we're talking about we are talking to you is that we are like, okay, we are we are talking to you, Mr. Chimbanga. Mr. Chimbanga, we are talking to you against the recent developments happening within your party, because you know the focus within your party is why are you still pushing, or why are you forcing APM to stand while you have got other capable candidates who can as well lead the party? That's why I asked you earlier on, saying that would you admit that you are
no one is forcing His Excellency Professor Peter Munthalika. One is entitled. It's a right for him, but also ask people who want him. We have also a right. So if I'm saying we want someone who can be able to bail the country out, what is wrong? Are we forcing someone? That is not true. That's not true.
At the same time, you on your camp, you are also forcing some members out of your party. For example, there have been several cases that have been taken to court because whoever you feel like is against the decision to have Munthalika stand and represent the DPP, you are dealing, or you are actually treating that person as an enemy. We have seen you expelling some of your officials from the party.
No, which members were expelled for challenging His Excellency Professor Peter Munthalika for the 2025 presidency? No one. Well, first of all, we haven't had a convention, so you can talk about someone being bad, someone being challenging. I mean, people have got the right. You know, if they think they can challenge His Excellency Professor Peter Munthalika, let them come, and they'll be defeated, because we know we have the numbers. A lot of people would want His Excellency Professor Peter Munthalika to come back to power, and we want the country to go back to where we were. You remember when we used to buy fuel at a very good price? That's what we want. Look what is happening now.
But now, so Mr. Chimbanga, you are sounding as if maybe you are trying to sound very political, because some other quarters are saying the current situation would not square a blame on the leadership, because there are several factors that are contributing to the current problem. Talk about the global situation, whereby as you're speaking right now, the fuel prices are going up. There are these wars happening between Russia and Ukraine, and you are speaking right now. There's another unrest in the Middle East, which would be some of the factors that are going to actually affect the country.
No, Timothy, all the countries around us are doing well. Tanzania is doing well. Zambia is doing great. Are you telling me the war is only affecting Malawi? Besides, can we really use the Palestinian and Israel conflict as an excuse for Chakwera not delivering?
But now we are citing some other. We are citing some other.
I want to respond. You are saying there could be other factors. No, His Excellency Professor Peter Munthalika handed a very good economy to Chakwera in 2020. Everything was okay. You must remember when Chakwera was coming in, we had actually a pandemic. There was COVID. So COVID didn't start with him. The Ukraine war started just a year ago. So all these factors are not, you can't blame them. This government buys fertilizer from a butchery. I mean, can we blame the war in Ukraine for making those silly decisions? We can't do that. I mean, we have got, right now as I'm talking to you, people are losing jobs. Just today, Atlanta Netting, people have lost 500 jobs. Why? Because the economy is not good. Even people, the employers cannot manage. They want to leave. You know, in our constitution as DPP, in Article 4, we say we want to instill confidence in the economy. So we want to encourage domestic foreign investment. But where the economy is at this stage,
so are you trying to downplay?
The country is not okay. No.
Yeah, of course, I'm getting you, Mr. Chimbanga. I'm getting you. But are you trying to underrate, or are you trying to downplay some other external forces that are actually making our economy not perform as expected? Are you trying to play down the effect of the Russia-Ukraine war? Are you trying to play down other external forces?
No, that does not. I mean, I'll give you an example. How does the president live and stay in New York over 2 weeks, partying with his family, and then nothing is, it doesn't deliver.
But Mr. Jimbanga, but Mr. Jimbanga, everybody knows.
President who go there and live there, only attend the, you know, Unga, they come back 3-4 days, they're done, they come back to Malawi.
Now,
I mean, to their, wherever they come from. But President Chakwera, he lives outside the country.
But Mr. Jimbanga, wait, Mr. Jimbanga. Everybody knows. Mr. Jimbanga, it's like you're trying, Mr. Jimbanga, you're trying to actually shift a bit from our topic. It's like you'd like to actually attack the leadership. Yet the reason why I called you, would like to discuss more issues happening within your party. For example, the issue that you're raising here, that the president went outside the country to party. Everybody knows that the president was there attending the UNGA meeting, and there have been a lot of several outcomes. There have been several outcomes that have come from the UNGA.
He travels all the time. He picks people from his village, his friends, people from church.
Mr. Jimbanga, others would argue saying that you're trying just to sound very political here, Mr. Jimbanga. For example, okay, you are talking about the issue to do with Forex here. Today, we are told that the president was in the Lower Shire commissioning some of the major investments in terms of the mega farm. Is that not development that you can at least maybe comment?
You must remember these projects. In fact, the one that you went to commission, that one it's been the opening projects that we we came up all these developments that is opening are DBB projects. We came up with those projects. He's just going to open, cut a ribbon. That's all he does. Take pictures.
But these projects are government projects. I mean, so do you think the current administration was supposed to abandon all those projects because they were initiated by the DBP?
No. All I'm saying is, this is not. I want you to know that all these things can be done. You can get a minister because it's already done. We've signed the contract, so we have already agreed funding. He just comes to cut the ribbon, and then he wants to take credit for it. I mean, come on. We want him to deliver. He must come up with something new. He must be able to say, okay, I'm doing this, and then he starts from scratch and deliver.
What about the roads that are being constructed in this country? Talk about the Lilongwe. Talk about even in your own ward. We are seeing different roads that are being constructed.
Mr. Kateta, have you been to Lilongwe lately? I want you to go and physically inspect. You'll be very sad. He's not able to complete anything, but I would want to see things. In fact, I'm very happy that at least he's trying something. All we are saying is, please cut down the expenses. He's so wasteful. He picks people traveling with them all along. Yesterday was in Blantyre. Look what he was doing. The country is losing. We're losing time. He's not focused. He has just fired the Minister of Finance, and they replaced him with someone who is more incompetent.
Okay.
These are some of the decisions.
Mr. Jimbanga, we understand that he hasn't fired any minister. What do you know? There have been these just normal reshuffles. The one was heading the Minister of
for 3 years.
The one was heading the Minister of Finance is now the Minister of Trade. The one was heading the Minister of Trade is now the Minister of Finance. Now let me take you back to the DBP, because it's like you're trying to run away from the issue that you're trying to discuss here. Mr. Chimbanga, is APM DBP?
No, he's the president of the DPP.
Is APM the DBP? Why I'm asking you this question? It's like minus APM, then there will be no DBP. That's what you're trying to portray here.
No. We in DBP we have being a democratic country. You must remember His Excellency Professor Arthur Munthalika served as president of the republic for 1 term. So according to our constitution, he was robbed. You must remember that we won the 2019 election, but remember what happened in the court and then what followed. So I think it's only right that we must normalize things. I think he deserves another term. Then after that, whoever wants to come in, they can always come after a complete system. But a lot of people in the party, and I'm sure if you are listening, pay attention. I would want Capital Radio to open up, do a live-in program. People should phone, do opinion polls. You know, you'll be surprised how many people want to. His Excellency Professor Arthur.
That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you. Will the DPP survive minus APM?
Of course, we will survive. But at this stage, we want this guidance. I think there's a lot of work to be done. but also for stability's purpose. There have been people in the past who have been causing problems here and there. So we need to have someone who can, bring unity.
Why are you describing some other people within the party, describing them as if they were causing a lot of problems within the party, because they just expressed their views of saying that they'd like to also contest come the next convention for the party? Why are you describing them as if they are Confusionists?
No. I've not talked about. You're not the one who's talking about that. If you talk about aspirants, an aspirant can always have their ambition. If they want to challenge, they can always come. Look, people have got a right. They should want to get 2 votes, 3 votes, no problem. I think as a party, anywhere in the world, you find that people go through a convention. And the incumbent is also entitled. Why should he bow out because of someone else has an ambition? No. We want a strong candidate for 2025. And
you are talking about a convention in this case. We understand that recently the High Court ruled that you as a party should hold a convention within the next 90 days. But we saw you as a party. You challenged that High Court decision to say you like to appeal that to the Supreme Court of Appeal. Then it seems as if you are actually contradicting yourself, because on the other hand, you're talking about the convention, and on the other hand, you're challenging
You must remember that in a country like Malawi, we're a country of laws. So we have the lower courts, we have the high courts, we have got the Supreme Court. If one is not satisfied with the outcome of the High Court, you can always appeal to the higher courts. In this case, the Supreme Court. But at the same time, I don't see any problem if someone is not satisfied with the decision of a lower court. When you can also go back to the same court and then appeal, or get a right to appeal for the decision that you're not happy with. We can't say simply because one judge has ruled against us or in favor of whoever went to complain, that means we have to sit and accept. No. You must remember, convention costs money. In 30 days, you're looking
Mr. Chimbanga, you are
need money for that.
Okay,
now... No, all I'm saying is, we need money for convention. Okay? Those are some of the factors. Two, you must remember that we have the country has gone through what we call, the electoral maps have been changed, there have been new constituencies have come in. So even as a political party, we need to be able to consolidate, make sure all those demarcations have been taken into account. We must elect the office bearers in those new constituencies. And those people who have to also participate in these elections, when are we going to do that? So some of these things, you see, they are political. And I'm really, we respect the court's decisions, but that doesn't mean we don't have a right to appeal. But I can assure you that the ruling will be obviously appealed. We have to just go to the same court, then probably proceed to the Supreme Court. But this is my opinion. I think that's the way it has to be done. I'm here to get the opinion of our legal directors, but I think that would be the right.
We were speaking to one of your senior officials for the party. That's Nicholas Daus. I'm going to mention his name. He's like, why is it that your camp, I would describe your camp, the APM camp, why are you so uncomfortable with the convention? Why up to that extent of appealing against the High Court's decision for you to go to a convention? Why are you so afraid to have a convention?
I wouldn't want to talk about Honorable Dausi. He's my elder, but I think he's a little bit confused. So you can't see, he does to say this. That time, he asked for, he needed time to hide. He has been in hiding for 3 years, ever since MCP came to power. He didn't want to be challenging or criticize the MCP government. Because I think, obviously, because of history and whatnot, he has been there for so long. He speaks so highly of them. I think he fleets with MCP so much.
But so now, just answer me, because Mr. Chimbanga, I repeat this, Mr. Chimbanga. The reason why I said I would like to speak to you is to actually make reference to the latest developments happening with in your party, where your president APM said, I will contest in 2025. Now you have already said here that for APM to contest is supposed to go through all these processes, including a convention. Now it seems as if you as a party, you are also on the other hand saying you are not ready to have a convention. Then how do you say APM would stand without going through the convention?
Thank you. But you must understand, as a political party, we have a constitution. And our constitution it actually stipulates when convention can be held, a national convention. In fact, we're supposed to have it next year. So I'm surprised. I think we shouldn't be guided. We must try to use our constitution. It is much better. Political parties should be guided by constitution, not court orders or someone.
But at the same time, it's you. I mean, but at the same time, it's you have.
I think so.
But it's your party, the DPP, who has been taking which has been taking these issues to the court. Then why are you saying that you should be able to resolve your issues internally by actually coming up with political solutions instead of taking up these issues to the court?
No. This is what I'm trying to say. You have maybe 2 or 3 people who would want to drag the party to court for whatever reasons. Personally, I would want us to resolve things internally peacefully. And if those who are not satisfied, maybe those are the ones who are probably going to court. But they will fail, I can assure you, because the party is solid. And a lot of people want to see DPP come back to power. They're not happy with Chakwera. So,
okay. By the way, why is it that your president APM is using the Mlakwa Alomwe to make some political statements? Because some other people are saying you are using Mlakwa Alomwe as a political cultural group instead of just going there, participate as one of the cultural groups and off you go. But he's using the Mlakwa Alomwe as a political grouping, using the podium to be making some political statements. Is that fair, to be using the Mlakwa Alomwe as a political vehicle?
No, that one, maybe that one, you can always ask the spokesperson of His Excellency, Professor Alpha Peter Munthalika, Honorable Shadrack Namalomba. But as far as I'm concerned, I think he addressed very important issues that the chiefs must not be used for political, things, like the way, you've seen what this government is doing, forcing chiefs to be clapping, to be dancing to political songs.
But that's why I'm asking you, why making that statement during, why can't he have maybe some other podium whereby he can talk about those issues, but turning the whole Mlakwa Alomwe into a DPP, yes, this is what has happened.
I think that most of the Lomwe people, have been sidelined, have been marginalized. People from the southern region, in fact, you've seen what has been happening with most business, rather government companies.
You are running away from the question. You are running away from the question, Mr. Chimbanga. Why is APM using the Mlakwa Alomwe and make some political statements?
He is not using the Mlakwa Alomwe platform for political reasoning. You must understand that these are most of the people here have been sidelined. They have been, they have been fired. A lot of things are going on. People are going through a lot of difficulties. So I think sympathizing with them is not being political. 1, 2, saying that, these companies will bring them back to the southern region. I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's not political.
But now,
I think it's just
we spoke
fair.
some other commentators. Some other commentators said it's the same DPP under Bingu, who actually said most of these government headquarters should be shifted to Lilongwe. We talk about some other developments that were happening in Lilongwe. That was during Bingu's time. We talk about
no, that's not what is
during Bingu. That's when we understand that Bingu is the one who took who actually decided to take most of the government agencies to Lilongwe.
No. Then how come these companies were not moved to Lilongwe then? That's not true.
Okay, we are running out of time. We are running out of time. I wish we had a lot of time. But now, let me take you back to your party, the DPP. Do you see some light by the end of the day, or by the end of the tunnel, that you can come together as a unified party and be prepared for the next elections? Because it seems as if your party is so divided. You are taking each other to the courts. You don't sit down to reconcile and sit down and actually resolve your issues. Do we see some light at the end of the tunnel?
A lot of it, and I want to assure our listeners that all these problems that you're going through right now, Forex problems, fuel price, high living costs, they'll be over soon. We just need to persevere the next 2 years, and we'll have a good government.
I'm talking about your party. Are you able to sit down? Do we see you as the party sitting down and reconcile and move forward?
We are moving. In fact, that's what President Munthalika said at John. He said that we will have one candidate. All these problems will go away. whoever is going to win at the convention, who obviously we know that it will be His Excellency Professor Munthalika, and all these other candidates who come along. We've got so much to do. There's so much to be done, and most of it, you must understand that as a political party, there are so many areas one can play. So most of these people who actually form part and parcel of the government, some of these people will be ministers. One of them could become a vice president. So it's still the same team. I don't understand why everyone wants to be president. I think people should be patient. People should wait for their time and get the support of the entire party. So at this stage, I can assure you that the party will come along. In fact, as we speak now, there's a lot of unity. If there are problems, it's just here and there. In a family, you can't expect everyone to agree. But the plan and the strategy is that as I'm talking to you, I know a lot of meetings that are taking place. And we are going to come together. Most of these people will stop. Most of these people will drop out. Most of these people are going to endorse. So you don't even have to worry. It's normal. And we are actually happy that Chakra campaigned for us. Because, it has made life difficult for Malawi.
Let's talk about your party. Let's talk about... So you are assuring your supporters that you get united and move forward as a united party? People, I can assure you the party is solid, because people now are tired also. They don't like these divisions, taking each other to court, left, right and center. It's not good. It's destroying the party, because people want unity. So they want leaders to come together and reason, and we must find ways to resolve our differences internally, not always dragging each other to court. In fact, anyone who takes the party to court, you must know that person has a problem. Because only a person who loves DPP would come to the disciplinary and would also want things to be resolved in a peaceful manner, in a way that does not bring to the party. We want confidence, want to instill confidence in our followers and our people, and Malawians across, in those who are listening right now, but also those who are abroad, they must know that DPP is very focused. We are still where we were. We want to make sure that we should fight poverty. We want to make sure we restore security, peace, stability. We must come back. Crime is on fire. So all these things are going to come back, and we're going to instill confidence in our economy. But also, we want investors to come back, because right now no one can come in Malawi, because it's not. So I don't think it's favorable for business. Okay, Mr. Chimbanga, it has been nice to talk to you live in our program of the Capital Straight Talk, where we discuss these several issues, including the latest developments happening in your party. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.